Hi, how you doing? It's been a while since I recorded something, so I thought I might as well take a series I've had an idea for a while and finally put it into motion. So, what is this series concept that I have thought of? Well, I always thought it'd be an interesting idea to take random generations, genres, characters, other things, and just have random selection choose what you're going to write that day. I think that could be a great writing warm up, and especially for the morning. So you just get some random thing. It's probably something you might be good at, you might not be good at, and you can just use it as a morning warm up in order to get in the flow of writing. So I figured that maybe I should try this for a while and see if I can make little YouTube series out of it. So that's basically the purpose of this. I think there's about 19 genres in this random generator I found here, and then to spice things up a little bit, I also found a adjective generator. So we'll see how this goes. And next is okay, we'll see how that goes. But I guess without further ado, let's get into this. I have no idea what this is going to be, especially since I didn't really read through all the genres that well, but it's either going to be something I can really do or something I really can't do. Magical realism. Okay, I'm writing Icarus Reborn right now, so I'm used to writing magical realism. Okay, let's see what the other adjectives are. I was going back and forth on adjectives, so since this is something I'm used to, I think I'm going to need them. So how do I actually roll it? Oof. Overjoyed curious. Okay. Yep, I can see the problems with this now. This is very similar to Icarus Reborn already. Okay. Well, nothing I can do but start writing, I suppose. So, overjoyed and curious is, of course, immediately make me think of an overjoyed main character who's curious about magic. I think that is a little too on the nose, so I think I gotta use some creative problem solving here to figure this out. For some reason, I can't get like cop stuff out of my head and like a magical detective type of thing, and like crime fighting, but like down to earth realism, like the police force, but integrated magic. And there's an overjoyed person who maybe the curiosity is sparked by a murder or a crime of some sort. Let's start with a name, since the names always are the hardest part. Reloaded. Okay, Reloaded, to imply that it's a sequel to something when it's of course not. Or maybe. Okay, I've already got the picture forming in my head of what this is going to be, and let's see if you can figure it out by the time I'm done with the first couple paragraphs. Probably the first paragraph is more than enough. Why did it have to be so generic as descriptors? Okay. Okay, so as thoughts first in my head, I feel is way too generic and not badass enough. But this is a better descriptor. Yeah, just overall, this is a better descriptor. I like it a lot more, and I feel it adds a lot more character to it already. And really, when you're going for a short story, what you want is get a lot of that character in there fast and not have like a bunch of fatty words that don't mean as much or just are way more generic that don't really have that level of impact that you might be looking for in a short story. Ooh, okay. I had the idea that maybe the main character doesn't actually talk throughout any of this. That could be interesting. I don't know why I mess up with in front so often, but I just do. I think it's one word. It's not. Oof. I'm liking this hard ass detective, because he just says strange things. And I like saying strange things. Boom. Good main characters thus far. I don't know why he's calling him a hippie, but I agree. Okay, so thus far the first page is done, plus a little bit extra. Well, this is probably basically the first page, minusing the top bit here. So, thus far I'm really just rolling with a couple of ideas, primarily. One of the ideas being that the main character is not going to talk directly, but rather just describe his actions as the narrator. Two, this is going to be a mixed world of magic and I guess like modern, not modern, maybe like post pre-modern, yeah, I guess pre-modern society, so like maybe like 1980s 1990s, that sort of era. So magic 1980s to 1990s world with technology and stuff, but of course replaced with a lot of magical stuff. And it's gonna be like an urban fantasy police drama. With of course, a new kid on the force, and he's gonna have to fill in the shoes of an ex-partner, as is obviously, which is obvious by the tone the current narrator is taking with talking about this day. Oh, this day. This is your day his partner died, or the day his partner has something happened to him. I don't know. His partner. That's it. We did it. Woo. Sleaze sneezes and seeps out of every nook and cranny this place has. Sleaze sneezes and seeps. Oof. That's pretty good. I also like the fact that the main character seems to use broken English a lot of the time, but clearly just is going off of experience alone on a lot of these things. I'm unsure if the stories he tells are true or not. They sound pretty true, but who am I to judge, really? I wonder what type of foil the younger cop will seem to turn out to be, because of course he's going to be a foil. I mean, what else is it going to be? What am I going to do? There's already been 2 instances of mythical creatures having drug use problems in this. I wonder if that will be a recurring theme. This dialogue feels super weak, but I don't know what I can do really to fix it right now. I don't know if I really want to fix it, if I'm honest. I really only care about the main character at this point. Okay, so I think I've finished this up. It kind of ends rather quickly, I'd say. I think the reasons for that is that like the case that I started on, it wasn't that interesting in all honesty. If it was a murder case, it probably would have went on way too long. Whereas this sort of like domestic squabble really isn't like worth spending much time on. Yeah, so like it really ended kind of quickly, kind of abruptly, and I don't really like the dialogue up here, but honestly, I think it came out fairly well in at very least with how the main character talks and interacts with characters. The main character seems to be good, and it's possible I could do something with this new partner of sorts later on. I do like what this is right now, and I think it does have potential to be a more fleshed out, more interesting narrative, maybe a series of short stories. Maybe traveling multiple people in the force, and maybe just exploring this guy's history and seeing how the main character is. What's the main character's name? Hatchet. I named him Detective Hatchet. Okay. Interesting. Oh, it has to end with him telling someone, "Let's bury the hatchet." Ooh, there's no other way I could end a short story with these guys. Okay, I'm willing to save this here. Magi Force Reloaded. Oof. Detective Hatchet. Magi Force Reloaded. That is not a good name. Hatchet Reloaded. Hatchet Reloaded. There we go. Now that's a name. Oshante. Oh ho ho ho. Hatchet. Magi Force Hatchet Reloaded. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking this story. I think this is a good warm-up exercise. I'd like to see where these characters go if I use them for anything later. Yeah, this could be interesting. I do like how this came out. I really did try to fight hard against the generics of the descriptions and the adjectives and the magical realism. I kind of took it in a completely different direction, but that's good, I'd say. It came out to be a much more unique story this way, and I really do like the main character and the way he talks and his just general demeanor. Probably the strength of this is its narration and the just creativity in the word choice. I think word choice, creativity, narration, and just the general strength of the main character is probably that brings this together the most. Okay, so if anyone wants to read this, I will, actually, I'll save those. Okay, if anyone wants to read this, I will go ahead and upload this somewhere. I'm going to have to do some research on where to upload this to, but I will upload it somewhere so people can read this and see what this short story is about. And, of course, if anyone wants to do these randomized things with me and tell me what they did or link me their stories, I'd be happy to read them. And of course, we'll see how this series goes, if it's a series or what I do with this. Hopefully, this can be an interesting exercise, an interesting thing to follow along with, or at the very least, maybe there'll be an interesting short story or two that comes from this. So, yeah, look out in the comments and description for a link to if you want to read the short story, and I'll see you in the next episode of this, probably, which could be probably by my knowledge of how often I record things, 7 years from now. So see you in the next decade.